Morning everyone, it's Karen from the Geordie Grandma here. It is 5:30 on Tuesday morning. I've been awake since about 4 o'clock I think, so I thought I would get up and make myself a cup of tea. I'm not quite going to start my day yet. So I've got a nice cup of lemon and ginger tea. I do like tea first thing in the morning rather than coffee. And I'm going to read a bit of my book. And at the moment, I've just started reading Richard Osman, The Last Devil to Die. I've read, I think it's the other 4 books in the series, might be 3, and really enjoyed them. So I'm looking forward to getting into that one. Today, I think I'm going for coffee with my daughter Nicola later. I've been away for a few days last week in Calahonda in Spain, so I'll talk a bit about that later and show you some photos. I didn't do any videoing when I was there. Sometimes it's nice just to have a break from videoing, I have to say. It's pancake day today, so I've just taken some butternut squash pancakes out of the freezer. I should have took them out last night, but I've just taken them out, so hopefully they'll be defrosted enough and I'll just pop them in the toaster later. I'll leave a link to the video where I made the butternut squash pancakes, and in case you want to have a look, I'll leave that in the description box below, and I'll link it at the end of this video as well. I've kind of slipped off the low carb a little bit last week while I was away, so I'm still trying to get back on it this week. It's probably going to take us a couple of days to get back in. Anyway, I'm going to drink my cup of tea and I'm going to read some book, and I'll see you later. So it's now 25 to 9. I look a bit more human now. I've got dressed and put some makeup on and my voice doesn't sound so croaky. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of work. I'm not sure what time I'm going out for coffee. I always, if I know I'm going out for coffee kind of mid-morning, I'm very good at procrastinating about doing any work before I go out. So I kind of lose a couple of hours of my morning. But I think I'm going to try and start a blog that I've been going to write. I'm just going to turn you around and show you what I use to blog, just in case anybody's interested in starting a blog themselves. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here and it's not blurry. So I use something called RankIQ to find things to write about on the blog. The blog is the Geordie Grandma as well, so I write about lifestyle stuff. Again, you know, plus size fashion, makeup, travel, that kind of thing. So the first thing I would do in RankIQ is they've got lots of different categories in here. So you can go down and you can choose, you know, any of the categories to have a look at. So I'm just going to have a look at, say, fashion plus sized. And then you scroll down here and you see all of the different things that are being searched for in Google. Best dress pants for plus size, best jeans for apple shaped plus size. And I can see by these numbers down here, the lower it is to 1, the easier it is for me to get on page 1 of Google for it. So that's a 12, so that's not bad. These are how many visits you can expect per year if you use that keyword phrase in a blog post. So I can get on page 1 of Google. It says very fast. So then I would run a report for it. I'm just going to show you a report I've already gotten here, one I was going to actually write. And this is the best swimsuit to hide tummy bulge. I've already done a video on that, so I thought I might as well write a blog post on it. And in here it tells us that I need to do 2051 words. And it's got all of these different words in here that I should use within the blog post to help me rank on page 1. That means get on page 1 of Google for anybody searching for that phrase. So if I put in flattering swimsuits to hide that tummy plus size women, I could have a good chance of getting on page 1 of Google if I use all of these keywords. And then it lets you write the blog post within this software. So I would start typing in here, and as I do, all of the keywords that it's suggested, it'll take one off if I use it. So the more keywords I use, the better. And then this grade will go from F to A++. The more keywords I use, and the more words I write. Obviously it's got to make sense. I don't just want to put all the words in and not have it make sense. And then once I've done all that in RankIQ and got an A++ and I've done 2051 words, I can add it into my WordPress blog site. This is a paid blog, WordPress. I would just click add new post, and then it opens up the page and I can add the title and then type it all into here and add photos and publish it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Well, that's what I'm going to try and start doing in the next hour or so before I go for coffee. We did have the butternut squash pancakes for breakfast. They weren't quite defrosted, but I put them in the air fryer for a few minutes and they were really nice. Even Warren said they were really nice because he didn't taste it when I first made it. But he said, oh, they're really nice. You can make those again. And they did freeze well, actually. So I would definitely make those again. Okay, it's now 9:30. So I have done a little bit. You can see I've written some. I'm at C- and I've only done 454 words. So I've got some way to go. But you can see down the side here the words that I've actually put in to the blog post, and they've highlighted them so I know that I've covered those words. I do have a bit of a headache this morning actually, so I think I might take a break from the computer, maybe have a glass of water or something, a couple of paracetamol. I've noticed the last couple of days I've had a really stiff neck when I've been waking up, and I'm not sure if it's the way I'm lying or maybe it's the way I'm sitting through the day. I know I slouch a little bit when I'm sitting at the computer, so it could be that. But yeah, I don't know whether it's that that's given us a headache, but I'm going to go and take a couple of paracetamol. So it's now 10 to 12. I'm finally going for a cup of coffee. Nicola's been for her nails done. She's had a Valentine's motif put on them. It was her birthday last week, and I would have sworn she was 32. But apparently she's 33. Now, are you sure?
Yes.
I think she's lying. Comes to something when your mum doesn't know how old you are. So we're just going down to the local retail park, have a cup of coffee somewhere and have a browse round TK Maxx. So I'll catch up with you later. So we've come to Marks and Spencer's cafe, and I've got smashed avocado on toast with some poached eggs, and Nicola got, what did you get? Eggs Benedict. Yeah. And I got a pot of tea. And what did you get in there?
Maple oat latte.
A maple oat latte. It's now 2:05 and I'm back from my trip out for coffee, which was actually tea. We had a quick look around the shops in the valley. Had a look around TK Maxx, didn't buy anything, but they've got a lot of lovely Easter things in. I'll put a little clip in a minute showing you the things they had in for Easter at TK Maxx. Some really cute stuff in there, but I really didn't want to buy anything this week. I bought a few things in B&M, so I'll just show you what I bought from there. I got a photo frame for the turtle to go on the wall with the rest of them. That was £3.50. They actually had some nice photo frames in there today with some different frames. That's the word I'm looking for, which were quite nice. I got nothing interesting really. Got some Dettol antibacterial washing machine cleaner, and that is in Lemon Breeze. Feeling very spring-like at the minute. I also got some Febreze, air fresheners. Honeysuckle, haven't had that one before, so I hope that smells nice. And I also got one of the Febreze air mists in honeysuckle as well. Just felt very spring-like. I also picked up a little candlestick holder. This is for a candle that Warren got free with a bottle of Kraken at the airport. And I'm thinking that might be the right size for it. So I put a picture in here if it fits, so you can see what it looks like. That was, it was only £2. I thought that was well worth it. I don't know how much these Febreze things were. And I also picked up some highlighters, pack of 6 for £2. because when I'm like content planning and things like that, highlighters always come in handy, and I've only got 2 left at the minute. So that was the stuff I bought from B&M. Now before I went, I also did a little bit more of, I've got a watery eye. I also did a little bit more of my blog. So that was coming along nicely. I'll just show you where I'm at with it. Hang on, I'll just turn you around. So you can see I've done a bit more. My grade's at A++, so I've got enough keywords in there now. I haven't done as many words though. It says I should be doing 2,051 and I've only done 1,084. I do have a little bit more to do, but I don't think I'm going to get to 2,000. I think the problem is I don't just want to waffle and, you know, stuff it with things that don't really mean anything, so I may not get to that amount of words. I know Google likes you to do a certain amount of words, but as long as it's over 500, I think I'm fine. So I'll finish that off maybe today, maybe in the morning, and then I'll upload it to my WordPress site and add some pictures, and I'll put a link below in the description box if I get that done by the time this video goes up. I have gotten 2 books read in the last week, so I thought I'd share them with you because I did think they were quite good. The first one is The Book of Beginnings that I mentioned in a previous Spend the Day With Me video, and it's by Sally Page. And this book is about a lady called Jo who has split from her boyfriend. He was actually cheating on her, and she goes to work in her uncle's stationery shop. He's in hospital, he's got Alzheimer's, and she goes to work in his stationery shop to take care of it for him. And while she's there, she meets a couple of people, a lady called Ruth, who is a vicar who has run away from a parish and you don't know why. And there's also an elderly gentleman called Malcolm who is writing a book on something, but so far all he's got is like character portraits. So he's written all about the different characters, and it turns out the characters are from people that are buried in the graveyard beside where they live. I can't remember the name of the graveyard now. It is a famous graveyard in London. I can't remember the name of it. It is quite a slow book, I have to say. Sorry, I've got a watery eye. Yeah, it's quite a slow story. There's nothing action-packed in it. It's not like a thriller or anything like that. It's more of a story about relationships, and how we think we need people and we don't need them, and we don't think we need other people and we do need them, and the importance of friendship and the importance of not taking people at face value as well. I did enjoy the book, and I would read something else by Sally Page because I think she writes really well. She drew the characters well, you know, you really felt like you were in their stories, but it is a very, I'd say, ploddy book. But if you like that kind of book, if you like the book about, you know, it's not an action thriller, it's not like a mystery, it's not a murder. If you just like a nice relationship kind of story, then I do recommend that one. The other book I read while I was away in Spain is The Guilty Couple by C.L. Taylor. Now this was like a thriller kind of book, and it is about a lady called Olivia Sutherland who was convicted of plotting to murder her husband, and then 5 years later she gets out of prison, and she knows her husband's framed her, and the book is the story of her kind of getting the proof that he framed her and why he framed her and all that. And it did keep us turning the pages, this book. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the plot, and I would definitely read something else by C.L. Taylor. I think I read this in a day and a half. Mind, I was on holiday at the time. But yeah, those 2 books I do recommend. Okay, it's now 4:45. I've definitely finished work for the day. I did get that blog finished, so I will link it in the description box below just in case you fancy a read of it. It's not as long as I wanted it to be, but I'd rather it be shorter and have more conciseness, if that's the word I'm looking for, than just stuff loads in and it just not making any sense. So that's done. I'm happy with that. And now it's time to think about tea. We'll have Gusto again. So I'm just going to show you what recipes we've got this week. So I've got 4 recipes again for this week. I've got a pan-fried cod with crushed potatoes and tomato relish. We've got a cheesy broccoli pasta bake, a garlic mushroom and sage gnocchi. I did like the gnocchi last time, but I think that's a different flavour on it. And a Chinese banquet with 5-spice mushroom and noodles, which sounds really good. But I think tonight we're going to have the pan-fried cod. I do think it's a lot easier getting these Gusto meals. It means I'm eating a variety of different foods. All of the ingredients are there. So you've got, just enough spices and just enough herbs. So you're not going out and having to buy whole bottles of things. I just think it's really useful. I will leave the link in the description box below along with the discounts and codes you can get if you're using Gusto for the first time. So when it's made, I'll show you what it looks like. So while Warren's cooking the tea, we'll have a little chat. I was going to tell you about me short break I had last week. Went on Monday and came back on Friday. And we went to Calahonda, which is in Spain. It was close to Marbella, however you want to pronounce it. It was a friend's apartment who they'd lent us it for a few days. So I didn't want a video while I was there because it wasn't mine. So I didn't want to show it really. But it was a really lovely place. The place was called Leila Playa. And they are apartments, and it's set in a lovely setting with little waterfalls and streams, and we're practically on the beach. I'll put some clips in here, a little video I took of me walking along the sand. You were a stone's throw from the beach, and it was actually really warm when we were there. It was it said it was about 20 degrees, but it felt hotter than that. There wasn't a lot about, I have to say. It was quite remote where we were staying. There was a few restaurants open, well, maybe 3 or 4 restaurants open down along the beach. And there was a Lidl's up the bank. But apart from that, there wasn't really anything. The restaurants, they don't cater very well for people who don't eat meat. I've found in mainland Spain. They do have fish, but there's not a lot of fish that I eat, and I don't like it when they serve the prawns in the shell with the heads on. So I was a little bit limited food-wise. If you didn't already know, I don't eat meat, but I eat fish, but I don't eat very much of it. But I did have some steamed mussels one night, which were really nice. And then I had a really nice goat's cheese salad, surprisingly, because I'm not particularly a salad person. But it was very, very nice. It had like walnuts and had like a honey and lemon dressing. It was really tasty, actually. And we went into I'm going to call it Marbella. We went into Marbella, which was a 30-minute bus trip away. We just got on the local bus. It was a couple of euros, I think, each to get there. And I don't know what I expected of Marbella, but from what I've heard, a lot of the celebrities like to go there, and I was really not sure why. The main part of Marbella is like a big city centre. They've got like a waterfront with a beach, and there's kind of shops along there and restaurants. But there wasn't anything that grabbed us and thought, oh, this is a fantastic place. This is where I want to come every year. You hear them talking about, no carbs before mobs and all that. But I don't know, maybe I just didn't go to the right places, or I didn't go to any of these super yachts, or, I wasn't into the nightlife. So maybe I was just not in the right place. But the part of Marbella that I did really like was the old town. I thought that was so pretty, very clean. It's not very big. It's just kind of off the main high street in Marbella. And it's got some little windy streets, little cobbled streets, and they've got the restaurants set out in the middle of them. They've got some lovely trees, lovely flowers. It just looks really, really pretty. And you could hear the kids playing in a school just inside the old town. You couldn't see inside the school because the walls were really high. Got a couple of lovely little churches there. Just a really pretty place. So if you are going to have a trip into Marbella, I definitely recommend going into the old town. They've got some nice little shops in there as well, some designer shops, a couple of like touristy shops where you get little trinkets and fridge magnets. Of course, we bought the obligatory fridge magnet, what we always do when we go on holiday. But one of the issues was getting back to Calahonda because we couldn't find the bus stop to go back. We looked all over and we were quite worn out with walking, so we actually got a taxi. And it was about €25 in the taxi back to Calahonda, which wasn't bad. So if you are going to have a trip into Marbella, I definitely recommend the old town. If we'd wanted to go into Malaga, that was about an hour and a half bus trip from where we were, so we didn't actually get to go in there. So we just basically spent a nice four nights, so three full days, just pretty much walking along the beach. I think on one day we actually did about 15,000 steps, so it was quite a lot of walking. But I love looking at the sea, so I love walking along the seafront. Read a couple of books, just relaxed basically. It's nice just to not be at home, isn't it? To not have the sort of stresses of everyday life, just to relax. And it was nice, but wasn't long enough. I could do with another holiday now. We are actually taking the grandkids away for a couple of nights to Scarborough next week, which may be a good idea. It sounds like a good idea, but we'll see by the time we get back. Because they've got to that age, well, especially my grandson who's 7, he's got to that age where he kind of back chats all the time, and he's getting quite cheeky. I suppose it's his age. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you posted on that. So that was my holiday. So tonight, I think we're going to be watching True Detective 4. I think I mentioned True Detective 3 on a video recently, which I was very disappointed in. But this one, it's got Jodie Foster in it. And if you've ever seen a series called Fortitude, it very much reminds us of that. It's set in, I want to say the Arctic Circle or Alaska. The Arctic Circle. Somewhere like that where it's dark for a lot of months of the year. I'm flipping terrible at remembering things at the minute. Maybe I need to do some brain training, I think. But these scientists go missing from this research station there. And Jodie Foster's the police chief and she's trying to find out what's happened, and they find them, and it's all very, at the moment, it's a little bit supernatural-like, which is why it reminds me of Fortitude, because that was slightly like that as well. So if we watched 3 episodes, I think we're going to watch a 4th episode tonight. It's a little bit scary, actually. I had to watch something different before I went to sleep. So I didn't have that on my mind and have nightmares. But it's keeping us watching it. It's better than the last one, I have to say. So if you've seen it, let us know what you think of it. And I'll let you know, I'll put some pictures on the screen of what my tea looks like and what it tasted like. But I'm probably going to finish the video here. So I hope you enjoyed it. I've done a little bit more today, I think, than normal. I definitely find the days I do these spend the day with me videos, when I say I'm going to do something at the beginning, like today I said I was going to write a blog post, I actually finished the blog post. And I think something else happened last week where I said I was going to do something and I did it. So maybe I should do more of these spend the day with me videos, because I am quite productive when I do them. But anyway, thank you for spending the day with us. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon. So bye for now.